TikTok isn't just an app, it's a psychological weapon, and the Chinese government has been using it on you for years. Welcome to Cover Up or Conspiracy. Today, we're exposing the digital Trojan horse in your pocket, and by the end of this video, you'll never look at your phone the same way again. March 2023, Forbes magazine published internal TikTok documents, revealing ByteDance employees in China accessed US user data from at least 170 million Americans between September 2021 and January 2022. Not metadata, not anonymous statistics, personal data, locations, browsing history, biometric identifiers from facial recognition. Private messages you thought were deleted. But here's what makes this different from Facebook or Instagram collecting your data. Under China's 2017 National Intelligence Law, Article 7, every Chinese company must support, assist, and cooperate with state intelligence work, not if asked, not voluntarily, by law. There's no opt-out. There's no privacy policy that protects you. If the Chinese government wants your data, ByteDance has to hand it over. No warrant, no judicial review, just compliance. ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, is headquartered in Beijing, which means every keystroke, every video you watch, every private message, every face you make in a filter can legally be handed to the Chinese Communist Party, and they're not just collecting it, they're storing it. Building profiles, creating a database of American citizens so detailed, it would make the NSA jealous. Think about what they know. They know your face, your voice, your location history, down to the meter. They know what makes you laugh, what makes you cry, what makes you angry, what you're insecure about, what you're attracted to, what you're afraid of. They know your political beliefs, your religious views, your sexual orientation, your mental health struggles, your relationship status, your income level, based on the products you look at. They know who your friends are, who you message, who you avoid. They can map your entire social network, identify the influencers in your life, and predict your behavior with terrifying accuracy. Former CIA analyst Nicholas Eftimiades testified to Congress in 2020 that TikTok represents the most sophisticated data collection operation by a foreign adversary in US history. Not one of the most sophisticated, the most sophisticated. Think about what that means. The CIA, an organization that's seen every espionage operation since World War II, says TikTok is the most effective foreign intelligence gathering tool ever deployed on American soil. And it's not just about selling you products. This is intelligence gathering, on a scale that would have been impossible 20 years ago. The KGB would have killed for this kind of access during the Cold War. But data collection is just the surface. What TikTok does with that data is where this turns from surveillance into warfare. Here's the disturbing part. TikTok's algorithm in China is completely different from the one in America. In China, the app is called Douyin. Same company, same technology, completely different experience. Chinese children see educational content, science experiments, museum tours, patriotic messages, moral lessons, videos about academic achievement, content promoting physical fitness, and traditional values. Screen time is automatically limited to 40 minutes per day for users under 14. After 10 p.m., the app shuts down entirely for minors. The Chinese government doesn't just allow this, they mandate it. Because they understand something crucial. They understand that this technology, in the wrong hands, can destroy a generation. President Xi Jinping himself has called video game and social media addiction spiritual opium. China treats this technology like a controlled substance for their own population, so they protect their own children, and then they export the weaponized version to us. In America, no limits, no restrictions, no educational content requirements, and the algorithm is designed for one thing: addiction. Kids are on TikTok for 5, 6, 7 hours a day, scrolling until 3 a.m. on school nights, missing meals, skipping homework, losing sleep. And the app does nothing to stop it. In fact, it encourages it. Dr. Tristan Harris, former Google design ethicist and founder of the Center for Humane Technology, calls it digital fentanyl, an algorithm engineered to exploit the brain's dopamine system more effectively than any previous technology. And he's not exaggerating. A 2022 study from the University of Minnesota found TikTok users experience dopamine spikes 23% higher than Instagram users and 31% higher than YouTube Shorts viewers. The app literally rewires your brain's reward system. Every swipe gives you a hit. Every video is optimized to keep you scrolling. The algorithm learns what makes you laugh, what makes you angry, what makes you feel inadequate, and it feeds you more of it. Neuroscientist Dr. Anna Lemke from Stanford University explains it like this. TikTok creates the same neurological patterns as cocaine addiction. The constant novelty, the unpredictable rewards, the infinite scroll. Your brain can't resist it. It's not entertainment. It's behavioral conditioning. Psychologists are now seeing teenagers who literally cannot put their phones down. Kids who experience withdrawal symptoms, anxiety, depression, panic attacks when separated from the app. Emergency rooms are reporting a 62% increase in teen mental health crises since 2019, the same year TikTok exploded in America. Coincidence? But here's the question nobody wants to answer. Why does China restrict its own children from this technology, while exporting the addictive version to American kids? Is this just corporate greed? A company maximizing engagement to sell ads? Or is it something more calculated? A deliberate strategy to weaken the next generation of Americans while strengthening their own? Leaked documents from the People's Liberation Army suggest it might be the latter. In 2019, Chinese military strategists published a paper titled Unrestricted Warfare, outlining how future conflicts won't be fought with missiles, but with information, culture, and psychological operations. The document is chilling in its clarity. Quote, "The primary battlefield is the human mind. Control attention, and you control behavior. Control behavior, and you control society." Another quote, "The enemy's youth are the most vulnerable target. Corrupt their values. Fragment their attention, and you defeat them, without firing a shot." TikTok fits this doctrine perfectly. First, fragmented attention spans. The average TikTok video watch time, but maybe that's the point. Keep the youth distracted, keep them scrolling, keep them consuming. A generation too busy chasing likes to notice what's really happening behind the screen. Because when attention becomes the battlefield, the most powerful weapon isn't a bomb, it's an algorithm. And while we dance to the beat of short videos and endless trends, someone else is writing the code that shapes how we think, how we feel, and what we believe. So ask yourself, are you using the app, or is the app using you? If this made you think twice about what's really on your phone, hit that like button. Subscribe to Cover Up or Conspiracy, where every week we peel back another layer of the digital world's hidden agenda. Because sometimes the truth isn't censored, it's disguised as entertainment. Until next time, stay aware, stay curious, and never stop asking, is it a cover-up or a conspiracy?